Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Brandon, and welcome back to episode 32 of the Tegridy Online Dynasty. And in today's episode, we're going to be reacting to our bowl game that we get for the second season of the Dynasty. Now, if you watched our last episode, you know that we beat Grote, who was controlling Purdue, in an absolute thriller of a Big Ten championship game by a score of 14-7, where Joey Porter Jr. got an absolutely huge interception that helped seal the game for us. So we are almost certainly going to be playing in the national championship, but the storyline of today's episode is whether we'll be playing Georgia, who is a computer, or Deke, who's controlling Pittsburgh. That's right, the first guy that we lost to and only guy that we lost to in this entire series. He's also the commissioner and controller of the Dynasty. He's had everything set up and has really done a great job, and I've had an absolute blast. So once again, a huge thank you to him because I've really enjoyed this. But let's find out if we're going to play Georgia or Deke in the national championship game. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Here we go. Slowly but surely, he just advanced and he's streaming it right now, his reaction. So I'm going to have to tune in after I see right here what happens. Yes, let's see. All right, save is completed. And let's take a look. Starting up the Dynasty here. And we will be playing Pitt in the national championship game. Wow! Noah Cain finishes second in the Heisman, but there it is. Penn State versus Pitt in the national championship game. Wow. Oh my God, what a storyline this has been through this entire season for Pitt. They've had their struggles, but 11-2, 9-0 in ACC play. Coming up against Penn State, us 13-0, undefeated this year. But we've played some really hard teams, and wow, what a storyline this has been. Obviously, reaction, I'm thrilled that it's a user versus user game, especially because we played Georgia in the Rose Bowl last year. Plus, what better way is there to end this series than playing against Deke? I mean, these really are the 1 and 2 teams in the nation that have been playing in this dynasty. You just have to give it to him. I'm very happy, super excited to be playing against him, but at the same time, I'm going to be favored in this game. This is what he's wanted and what he's been looking forward to this entire time. He's obviously going to have watched and replayed our game 1,000 times, and he's going to be looking for what he needs to do to beat me. But wow, we'll be playing Pitt in the national championship game. We have to take a look. Yeah, there's the Big Ten championship trophy. We'll add that to our profile. Brandon Smith has won the linebacker of the year. Add that trophy to profile. And what's the BCS rankings looking like? Here we go. How much did they edge out Georgia by? Wow. Georgia did not even get an increase in points for winning the SEC championship against a now unranked, then ranked 23, Ole Miss. Pittsburgh, I thought it was going to be .995. I thought that was the number to beat. I said it, and that's exactly what it is. Wow. What a season. Just what absolutely great storylines. Mine might be the Joey Porter Jr. made a mutual promise to us that we would win the Big Ten championship, and we succeeded in that. But the final storyline for everyone in the Dynasty, both me and Deke, is that we'll be playing each other in the national championship game. Take a quick look at the bowl games. We'll find the first user versus user game here. And it is going to be, well, first off, the Wrestle Athletic Bowl. Clemson, who Caden had to leave the Dynasty, will be in that one. His team will hopefully be able to make him proud. The Chick-fil-A Bowl, it'll be Wake Forest versus Arkansas. Gator Bowl, Michigan State versus Florida. Capital One Bowl will be Purdue versus South Carolina. Northwestern's in the Outback Bowl. West Virginia playing in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Oklahoma will be in the Cotton Bowl. But it doesn't look like there's any other user bowl games. It's literally just Pitt and Penn State, unless I missed something. But there's all the bowl games, and it looks like me and Deke are the only user versus user games in the national championship. What a fitting way to end this season and this entire series. So taking a quick look at the award winners, I'm just gonna try and hurry through these. Obviously, Christian Turner wins the Heisman. He's gonna be winning a lot of other awards. Noah Cain will finish second in a couple as well. But we'll see Brandon Smith down there. Javonte Royal wins that one for Pitt. So there's Sam Hartman. Noah Cain second in the Walker as well. Just a great season for so many players, so many people. And I'm really going to say it again. This has been a great season. So many storylines. Brandon Smith wins the best linebacker, which you have to be excited about as a Penn State fan. Johnny Dixon, fifth for the Thorpe. Javonte Royal wins that one as well. But just what a season. So great to be a part of it. We've also got Noah Cain and Rasheed Walker as first-team All-Americans. Same as Caden Wallace, Brandon Smith, Johnny Dixon, and Jair Brown. A lot of them for both Pittsburgh and Penn State. Devin Ford, the returner. Juice Scruggs is a second-teamer. So is PJ Mustipher, Curtis Jacobs, Marquise Wilson, and Joey Porter Jr. We've also got Lonnie White as a freshman. And wow, just what a season. Some of the last things I'm going to be taking a look at is team offense. Here we are. Did pretty well over the entire season, and I'm happy with it. Team defense, we're first in the nation overall. First in a lot of categories. Rushing, we ended up finishing second in, only behind Penn State. But first in points, and first in interceptions, which is something we were chasing all year long. And I am extremely happy about how our defense played. Taking a quick look at all of the best passers in all of college football, Taquan Roberson comes in at number 2 with a 194.5 QBR, and Sam Hartman is the only one above him with a 210.5. Rushing, we see Noah Cain finishes down here his 7th, but he had the most rushing touchdowns by far, and just a fantastic season for him. I think the very last thing that we have to take a look at is the pre-game for Pittsburgh versus Penn State in the national championship game. Kirk Herbstreit actually has Pitt picked to win. Wow, a bold move by him. I understand it based on mentality, but not on stats. Pitt is far behind Penn State in team rating, as well as offensive production, and defensive production are pretty close. Pitt has the rushing defense, but Penn State's turnover differential, the best in the nation compared to Pitt, who has -6. He obviously believes in Pitt's leaders, with Dan Bevel, Vincent Davis, and Jordan Addison, as well as Javonte Royal, who had 28 sacks, won a lot of awards for them. He was just an absolute powerhouse. But you know what? I believe in our guys at Penn State. Taquan Roberson, Noah Cain, Brenton Strange, Curtis Jacobs, and Joey Porter Jr. I think that we absolutely have the team leaders to get it done. We've done it once so far this year, but this in the national championship with super high stakes is what it's really gonna come down to. Taking a look at Pitt's schedule, they obviously had a hard schedule. Only losses were to us and number 5 West Virginia. They had some big wins, including against Wake Forest, as well as UNC, that really boosted up their numbers, as well as USC, their first game of the season. But we obviously had a harder schedule. 6 total user games, and we won them all. The closest one obviously being up against Pitt though, which is always going to be worrisome. But really, we had the hardest schedule in all of college football, and that's going to continue against number 2 Pitt in the national championship game. Well guys, that's about all I have for you in this one. Penn State will be playing Deke as Pittsburgh in the national championship game. Me against Deke, Penn State versus Pitt. The Keystone Classic returns in the national championship game. And what a battle this is going to be. Just so many great storylines on both sides of the ball coming together, clashing for the final battle. And I will see you in the next episode there. We are going to the national championship game.